So day 3, Saturday, kind of felt like Sunday because we would normally be done and we've already done a million events. But yeah, day 3. Our first event, we had an assault bike workout. It was 40 calories on the assault bike, 30 calories on the assault bike, 20 calories on the assault bike, but in between each set you'd do 20 burpee box jump overs. So this was just like cardio, and it's luckily I've actually been doing a ton of burpee box jump overs every week, so that's been really good, and I kind of moderately stay semi-fit on the assault bike all year round. So that actually went quite well. You kind of had to take off at a pace that you're going to be uncomfortable and just hold on. Getting through the burpee box jump overs, you could kind of regain. That was normally where people would lose their breath, but for me on that one particularly, that was where I kind of regained my breath until the very last one. I got back, started doing some fast burpee box jump overs on the final set to try and catch up the lead position. Made it through maybe 14 or 15 reps, maybe 16 reps, and went to jump, dragged a foot, went to jump onto the box, just made it onto the box, kind of clipped it, and then kind of fell forward and kicked the box over and like face planted and landed on hands and knees and kind of just tried to regather myself and get back up, finish my set because people were trying to chase me down as well. So yeah, picked back up, finished off my set. Wasn't painful at all doing any of that, but then as I cooled down, my knee started getting quite sore. Like underneath my patella and in the back of my knee started to get a bit swollen, and just had to try and keep it moving to keep away the pain of like when I sat down and let it go still. Like now waking up on day 3, it's a bit stiff. It's like a bit hard to pick my leg up off the ground, but that event ended up going quite well. I think I ended up placing maybe in the top 3 somewhere, but it was a good event. Minus the fall.
Oh, how's that, buddy?
A bit of a stumble. Not to worry.
Great result, eh?
Yeah, it's good. Not too bad. Legs got heavy in the end, but it was fun. I don't know. I feel like I have to fall every year at the ACC for some reason. Just have to keep the tradition going. Like at full speed, like running across the line, like racing Baden to the line. Just bang, just lost it. There's actually a video of me just going poof, poof, and like bouncing.
When I first met James, like he was, the CrossFit Games was everything. And it kind of, we met in 2012 and it kind of built every year to become, because he got closer and closer to the games, it got more and more important to him. And then 2015 was the last year that he didn't qualify for the games, and the saying "it's always darkest before the dawn" couldn't be more true in that sense, because that was a really, really rough year. I think he was injured that year as well, which didn't help. Our business was going through a bit of a tough time. We weren't paying ourselves. It was just really, really hard. I still remember we had nights sitting in the gym floor eating eggs and rice because we couldn't afford to go and buy, expensive food. And then he was trying to run the gym full time and compete to get to the games. And it was a really, really hard year. And lucky he kind of hung on, because 2016 he finally made it. And it was still very important to him for a long time. The CrossFit Games was still kind of the thing that he woke up for every day was the CrossFit Games. Every decision was, thinking about how it's going to contribute to or take away from the CrossFit Games. And then probably in the last, maybe 12 months or so, there's been a little bit of a shift that I've noticed, and he might, disagree with me. But we've done a lot more travel. We've started to realise that, he started to realise that there's so much more to life than just the CrossFit Games, and he's definitely changed as an athlete. It doesn't take away from the seriousness for him. He's still just as committed to the sport, but it doesn't hold so much weight, I don't think. And now that he's done Ironmans and he broke his back and in my eyes almost died, and I think that too was a very pivotal kind of moment for him to realise that, there's so much more out there. But yeah, I think he's in a good place at the moment now, where it's just whatever happens, and he can enjoy himself and enjoy the weekend. And, you know, if things don't go to plan, it doesn't mean life's over. Whereas, you know, in 2015, when he didn't qualify for the games, like, I almost thought our lives were over. It was very challenging. So it's really nice that we've come through that, and it's made him a stronger athlete as well, I guess. He's got a lot of experience now too. But yeah.
I don't think he's anywhere close to his peak, and I've seen him train at his peak, and I don't think he's close to it. I think this weekend has just been one of those really tough weekends where it's like, you know, everyone's talking about the accident, everyone's talking about his nutrition changes, everyone's talking about all of the things that James has gone through, and even though he may have felt really confident going into it, you can't help but kind of be a little bit permeable to the information that gets kind of leaked into social media. So there's probably, and like if I was in his shoes, I would feel a lot of doubt. So it's hard to compete when you've been doing this for so long and you've kind of gotten rid of a lot of doubt when you've been doing it for so long. But this last year, there's been so many events that have been completely out of his control and completely so intensely derailing. It's normal to kind of feel unsure.
And so the last event of yesterday, which was event number 9. Event 9. So this one was also, which is good because now we're on the final day. There's not a lot of other movements that I'm not, you know, I don't fancy as much, like have an issue with as much. But the ring muscle ups. So we had ring muscle ups, 7 ring muscle ups into 30 heavy wall balls, into 7 hang squat cleans at 100. So it was 3 rounds for time, 7, 30, 7. And it went, you know, I kept to my game plan as much as I could. I had to adjust a little bit on the wall balls, just given some no reps. But muscle ups unbroken. Wall balls were going to be done in 3 sets, ended up doing mostly 4 sets or 5 sets, just to try and relax the arms as much as possible. Cleans done in 2 sets in the final round. Tried to go for an unbroken set of 7 on the cleans. Didn't catch the 6th rep really nice, so dumped it, picked it back up and did my 7th. Finished in an okay placing, not like super fantastic, but again, anything like that, you know, dumbbell thrusters, strict handstand push-ups or deficit handstand push-ups and ring muscle ups, that pressing movement, at least they're out of the way now, so it's good. So, you know, a few things that I think could be coming up, you know, if it's double unders, pull-ups, you know, hopefully a big erg mash together, like something a little bit longer, maybe, you know, if they could do 10k run would be great. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, anything like that. I think we have still left to come, maybe some handstand walking, which I don't mind. I quite enjoy that too. There's a lot of good movements left for me on day 3, bar muscle ups, pull-ups. I think there could be even you know, hopefully we haven't done a heavy lift yet, so ideal situation for day 3, final day leading in. I'm tied for points at the moment with Baden, which is great. You know, it keeps me on my toes. Ideal situation, you know, maybe we start the day with a 1 RM deadlift, would be good. And then maybe we would do like a chipper event, like a big erg mash, where it's like, you know, like 3k bike erg into 150 double unders, into 2k row, into 100 double unders, into 1k ski, into 50 double unders, something like that. Maybe the double unders go from 150 on your own rope, then 100 on the heavy rope, and then 50 on the drag rope, something like that. And then hopefully the final event is something like 30 pull-ups, 50-foot handstand walk, 20 chest to bars, 50-foot handstand walk, 10 bar muscle-ups, 50-foot handstand walk. I think that'd be a good day.
I love how much details in it.
I've been thinking about it all night, don't worry.